Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
You know that feeling, right? That heavy, just soul-sapping sensation when a big task looms ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's studying for a huge exam, or finally tackling that work project, or even just cleaning a room that looks like, well,
A disaster zone.
Exactly. You know you should do it, maybe even want to do it deep down, but the energy just, it isn't there.
It feels like your motivation switch is just flipped off.
Yeah. Your will has gone missing. And that feeling, that's often a serious lack of motivation. If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are absolutely not alone.
Not at all. It's incredibly common. Our brains are actually sort of wired to conserve energy, which makes taking that first step really tough sometimes.
Unless we figure out how to, hack the system.
Seriously.
So today, we're going on an exploration, a deep dive to understand exactly that. Our focus is how to get motivated, a mental health-friendly guide. We've looked at some really insightful sources to pull out the most practical, healthy, and honestly, some surprising strategies for boosting your drive.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
We're here to equip you with a clearer picture of what motivation actually is, what typically gets in its way, and crucially, some real steps you can take to reignite that spark.
The goal really is to make it easier for you to move forward in your daily life.
One clever, small step at a time.
It's true. We often beat ourselves up when we feel unmotivated. We think, oh, I'm just lazy or I don't have enough willpower.
Totally. Guilty as charged sometimes.
But what's really helpful about the approach in our sources is how compassionate it is. It emphasizes understanding the why behind it, the psychology, maybe even a bit of the neuroscience.
Right.
It helps us see we're not broken. We just maybe haven't been given the right tools or insights yet.
And that's what we're going to unpack today.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's peel back the layers. To kick things off, what exactly is motivation? Because honestly, it often feels like this magical force we either have or we don't.
Well, fundamentally, motivation is what pushes us to do something. It's the reason behind our actions.
Like getting out of bed.
Yeah, like getting out of bed or trying to improve at something or going after a big goal. It's that internal or external push that turns an intention into actually doing something.
Okay, and our sources pointed out two really distinct types, which I found super helpful: intrinsic and extrinsic motivation.
That's right.
Can you break those down? How does knowing the difference help us get stuff done?
Definitely. So intrinsic motivation, that comes from inside you.
Oh.
You do something because you genuinely enjoy the activity itself.
Okay.
Or maybe because it lines up with your personal values, it feels good, gives you satisfaction. Think about reading a book just because you love the story.
Not because you have to write a report on it.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's that self-driven thing, that genuine interest. It kind of fuels itself from the inside.
So it's like an internal reward system, almost like a self-powering engine?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And then conversely, extrinsic motivation is, well, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Extrinsic motivation comes from outside you. You're doing something to get an external reward, like money, or a good grade, or maybe to avoid a punishment.
Like doing your homework just so you don't get a bad mark?
That's a classic example. Or, finishing a work task to get a bonus. Now, look, both types are useful. They both get us moving.
Sure.
But what's fascinating, and something our sources highlighted, is that sometimes too much external reward for something you already enjoy intrinsically can actually backfire.
Really? How so?
It's called the over-justification effect. Basically, the external reward can sort of crowd out or even kill that internal joy you had for the task itself.
That's counterintuitive.
It is a bit, yeah. It's a delicate balance. While those external nudges can definitely get us started, the more we can tap into and build that intrinsic motivation, the easier and, frankly, more satisfying it is to stay motivated over the long haul.
That makes a lot of sense. It leaves me wondering, though, for those tasks that are just, genuinely unpleasant, how do you even start building intrinsic motivation if it feels totally absent? But maybe we can circle back to that.
You can.
First, let's shift gears. Let's tackle that big question. Why is it sometimes almost impossible to get started, even when you really, really want to? What's actually going on that makes motivation so hard to hold on to?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our sources point to several really common reasons, both psychological and physiological.
Okay.
One huge factor is just feeling tired or overwhelmed. Simple as that. When your body and brain are just worn out, your prefrontal cortex.
That's the planning part of the brain.
Exactly, the executive function hub. It kind of goes offline. And suddenly, even simple things feel like climbing a mountain.
Been there.
Another big one is not knowing where to start. Just a lack of clarity. If a task feels too big or vague, it triggers confusion, maybe helplessness.
The blank page syndrome, I totally get that.
That's it. Then there's a fear of failure. It's
Yeah.
powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we literally avoid trying simply because our brain anticipates the potential pain or embarrassment of messing up. It's like a protective mechanism, even though mistakes are, how we learn.
Right. Logically, we know that, but it still feels bad.
It does. And of course, in today's world, we have to talk about distractions.
My phone, it calls to me.
You and millions of others. Phones, notifications, streaming shows, video games, they constantly pull our attention away. They fragment our focus.
It's like mental static.
It really is. And finally, a really important one, not having a clear goal. Or maybe not understanding why the goal matters to you.
Feeling lost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're working towards or why it's important, your motivation just evaporates. All these things act like roadblocks, basically. Energy blockers, focus hijackers.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just one thing. It's like a minefield of potential issues. But there's good news here, right? It's not just a list of problems.
Absolutely not. The good news, and what really stands out in our sources, is that just understanding these specific blockers is the first, most crucial step to overcoming them.
Just naming them helps.
It really does. It shifts the perspective. It's not about you being lazy or broken. It's about realizing, okay, my brain is doing this thing. How can I work with it?
Right.
When you can pinpoint what's holding you back, even taking tiny targeted steps can make you feel more in control. And that starts building momentum.
That is incredibly reassuring because it so often feels like a personal failing when that drive just disappears.
Okay.
So, okay, what are these tools, these strategies to kind of like hack our own motivation? Our sources give us 5 simple and powerful ways to build motivation and keep it going.
Yeah, and it's framed like learning a skill, which I like, training your brain.
So where do we start? What's number 1?
Number 1, it's foundational because it directly fights that overwhelm we talked about, is to break big tasks into ridiculously small steps.
Ridiculously small.
Yes. Think tiny. Because big, vague tasks feel scary, right?
Yeah.
They trigger that avoidance thing in our brain. But if you slice them up into smaller, clearer, manageable bits...
It feels less threatening.
Exactly. Much more doable, and you're way more likely to actually start.
So instead of thinking, I have to write this entire report.
Right. The sources use that exact example. Instead of that massive thought, break it down. Step 1. Pick a topic. Step 2, find, say, the 3 good sources. Step 3, write an outline.
Okay.
Then maybe write 1 paragraph, then another, and finally check grammar and spelling. See, each one is a distinct little chunk.
Yeah, manageable.
And here's the cool part. Finishing each tiny step gives you a little hit of dopamine.
The brain's reward chemical.
Yep. It creates this positive feedback loop. Your brain goes, ooh, that felt good, let's do another one. It kind of tricks you into wanting more.
I love that
Well,
because each little step is like a mini win. And those wins add up, they build your confidence, they push you forward. It's like building unstoppable momentum from tiny pushes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's powerful. What's number 2? How else do we get this engine running?
The second strategy is to set realistic, structured goals using the SMART method. This is huge because often motivation dies when our goals are just too vague or way too ambitious or just impossible as they stand.
Right, setting yourself up for failure, basically.
Pretty much. SMART goals give you a clear framework. They make your objectives concrete, realistic, and actually achievable.
Okay, SMART is a pretty well-known acronym, but let's do a quick refresher. What does each letter stand for again?
Sure. S is for specific.
Yeah.
What exactly do you want to do? Not just get in shape.
Yeah.
Like, I will go for a 20-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
Very specific.
Okay.
M is measurable. How will you know you did it?
Mm,
You track the walk, the time, the distance.
got it.
A is achievable. Can you actually do this? Is a 20-minute walk realistic for you right now with your schedule and fitness level?
Needs to be doable.
R is for relevant. Does this goal actually matter to you? Does it align with what you want? Why is this walk important?
The why behind it. And T.
And T is time-bound. When will you do it? By when? Maybe I will do this walk 3 times this week. It needs a deadline or a time frame.
That's a really solid framework. Can you give another quick example, maybe for studying?
Sure. A SMART goal for studying could be, I will study Chapter 3 of my history textbook for 25 minutes this evening between 7:00 and 7:25 p.m. by taking notes.
Okay, that's super clear. Specific topic, measurable time, achievable duration, relevant to the upcoming test, and time-bound for tonight.
Exactly. It cuts through the fog and tells your brain exactly what to do and when. Much easier to get motivated for that.
Definitely. Okay, number 3 is something I know I should do more, but maybe don't appreciate the power of. Visualization.
Ah, yes. Using visualization is incredibly powerful because it actually primes your brain for success. It's not just wishful thinking.
How's it work?
It means actively using your imagination to picture yourself succeeding, really vividly. Our sources suggest closing your eyes, imagining finishing the task,
Okay.
but not just seeing it, feeling it. Imagine the pride, the relief, the happiness of being done. Think about the reward, the good grade, feeling fitter, having that free time.
So it's more than just thinking about the goal. It's like pre-living the success in your mind.
Exactly. You're creating the neural pathways. When you simulate success vividly, your brain gets the message that this outcome is possible, it's desirable, it's worth the effort.
It's like giving your brain a preview of winning.
That's a perfect way to put it. It makes the goal feel more real and exciting, which makes starting easier. It turns abstract ideas into something tangible in your mind.
I like that a lot. Preview of winning. Okay, number 4. This one's about our physical space, which I admit I sometimes neglect.
Right, creating a motivation-friendly environment. This is often underestimated, but your surroundings have a huge, often subconscious impact on your focus and drive. Well, a messy desk, a noisy room, constant distractions, they force your brain to work harder just to filter out the irrelevant stuff.
Wasting energy before you even start.
Precisely. It drains your limited mental bandwidth.
So, what are some simple practical things we can do, besides the obvious tidying up?
Yeah, beyond just cleaning, think deliberately. Clear your immediate workspace. Put your phone completely out of sight, or at least on silent in another room if you can manage it.
The phone exile. Tough but necessary.
It often is. Use noise-canceling headphones if background noise is an issue. And importantly, let people you live or work with know when you need some focused, quiet time.
Setting boundaries.
Yes, a calm, organized environment reduces that cognitive load, removes friction, and makes it way easier for your brain to actually engage with the task you need to do.
Makes total sense. Less mental clutter, more focus. Okay, and finally, number 5. This feels like a classic, but maybe we don't do it right. It ties back to that dopamine we talked about.
Indeed. Number 5 is rewarding yourself for progress. Rewards are super effective because they tap directly into the brain's reward circuitry.
Dopamine again.
Exactly. That hit of dopamine reinforces the behavior. Hey, doing that task led to this nice thing, making you more likely to do it again. It strengthens those neural pathways for getting things done.
So we're not talking huge rewards here, are we? Like buying yourself a pony after you answer one email?
Probably not sustainable. No, the sources suggest small, immediate, genuinely enjoyable things.
Like what?
Think. Taking a 10-minute break to stretch or walk outside after an hour of work. Watching one short, funny video after finishing a tough section. Having a favorite snack. Doing something you love for 15 minutes after you cross a big item off your list.
Little treats along the way.
Yes. And a key insight our sources stress is to reward the effort and the progress, not just the final perfect result.
Why is that distinction important?
Because it keeps you motivated, even when the big win is far off, or if you hit a setback. You're still acknowledging and reinforcing the act of trying, the commitment you're putting in. That keeps the engine running.
That's really smart. Reward the work, not just the win. Okay, quick question on that. Any pitfalls? Like rewarding yourself with something that actually undermines your goal. Like eating cake after a workout if your goal is weight loss.
That's a great point. Yeah, the reward should ideally be aligned with or at least not contradict your overall goal. And it shouldn't feel like another chore. It needs to be genuinely pleasant, easy to access, and feel proportionate to the effort. A brief, joyful pause.
Got it. Keep it simple, keep it joyful, keep it helpful. Okay, now here's where things get really interesting for me. The guide we looked at acknowledges that motivation isn't one size fits all. Everyone struggles differently. So it offers specific tips tailored for different people in different situations.
Which is fantastic, right? It really is. And what stands out when you look at these tailored tips is just how personal motivation can be. It really underscores that idea that motivation often grows when you find ways to enjoy the process, the journey, not just fixate on the end result.
Finding the joy in the doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These tips are all about meeting people where they are, adapting the core strategies to their specific challenges and what they have available.
So for students, for instance, the advice seems to center on structure and making things bite-sized.
Precisely. Making a steady schedule, setting super short goals, like maybe just 20 minutes of review each night. It tackles that, where do I start feeling, and builds consistency.
Reduces the overwhelm. Okay, what about remote workers? That's a big one now.
With remote workers, it's all about creating boundaries, both mental and physical. Set up a dedicated workspace, if possible, away from your bed or the TV.
Separate work from life.
Yeah. And stick to a routine. Get dressed. Start work around the same time each day. This signals to your brain, okay, it's focus time now, minimizing those home-based distractions.
Makes sense. And for people trying to get fit, the fitness fans, or maybe the aspiring fitness fans.
There, the advice leans into enjoyment and tracking progress. Start small with something fun. Maybe a 10-minute walk listening to music you love.
Lower the barrier to entry.
Exactly. Track your progress, even small improvements in a notebook or app. Seeing progress is motivating. And maybe find a workout buddy for accountability and fun. Make it social.
Less chore, more positive experience. Got it. What about parents? They're often juggling so much.
For parents, the key is small, personal goals and asking for help. It's about prioritizing tiny bits of self-care, like just 5 minutes to read or stretch.
Tiny moments for themselves.
Yes. And importantly, asking for support from partners or family, maybe involving kids in active things, like a family walk. It acknowledges their huge load and fights the overwhelm by making sure their own needs aren't totally ignored.
It's crucial for their own energy levels. Now, what about creative people? They face unique blocks sometimes.
For creatives, it's often about process over perfection. Create during your best energy times. Set a timer and just make something, anything, without judging it.
Just get started. Suspend the inner critic.
Exactly. Joining creative groups or challenges can also help, adding external structure and community. It's about fostering that flow state instead of waiting for mythical inspiration to strike.
Battling the blank canvas. Okay. Job seekers. That can be such a motivation drain.
Oh, absolutely. For job seekers, the advice is about consistency, celebrating small wins, and self-compassion. Don't try to apply for 50 jobs a day, maybe just a few well-chosen ones.
Sustainable effort.
Right. And celebrate the small victories, getting a call back, having a good informational interview, and definitely take breaks to avoid burnout. It directly counters that feeling of overwhelm and fear of rejection.
Managing the emotional roller coaster. And finally, and this is so important, what about people struggling with their mental health, where motivation can feel truly impossible?
Yes, this is crucial. The guidance here emphasizes radical self-compassion and starting incredibly small, like micro actions.
How small are we talking?
We're talking. Brush your teeth, get out of bed for 5 minutes, drink a glass of water. Truly tiny steps.
Okay.
Doing very low-energy tasks can help too, like listening to calming music or just journaling one sentence. And the absolute key is celebrating every single effort. Because when you're dealing with that level of energy depletion, any action is a huge victory.
Acknowledging that just getting through the day is an achievement sometimes.
Absolutely. It's about meeting yourself exactly where you are with kindness.
Wow. That's such a comprehensive and, yes, compassionate set of strategies. It's not just the what, but the why it works based on how our minds operate. So as we start to wrap this up, let's try and distill the core message. What's the big takeaway, the fundamental shift in thinking about motivation that our sources suggest?
I think the biggest shift is realizing that motivation isn't some magical thing you either possess or you don't. It's not a fixed trait.
It's not like eye color.
Exactly. It's more like a muscle. It's a skill you build, something you strengthen through consistent practice using strategies like the ones we've discussed.
So you can actually get better at being motivated.
Yes. And here's the really liberating part our sources emphasize. You don't need to feel motivated to take action.
Wait, say that again?
You don't need to feel motivated to start. You just need to start. Action often creates the feeling of motivation, not the other way around.
Whoa, that flips the script entirely. We usually wait to feel motivated before we do something.
We do. But often, that feeling never arrives. The trick is to just begin, however small. That action itself can kickstart the dopamine, break the inertia.
And then the feeling follows the action.
Often, yes. Or at least the action gets done, which is the main goal. Even tiny steps, standing up, opening the document, putting on your walking shoes can be enough to get the ball rolling.
Break the inertia. That's the key.
That's the key.
Okay. So, with that powerful idea in mind, we want to leave you, our listener, with a thought to carry forward today. something you can apply right now based on everything we've talked about. What one ridiculously small step can you take today, maybe right after listening to this, that will start building your momentum towards something important, knowing that the motivation might just follow that step?
Just one small thing.
Remember, those small steps done consistently really do lead to big progress. Even if today felt like a struggle, that is absolutely okay. Tomorrow is always a fresh start, a new opportunity to try one small step.
Keep moving forward.
We really hope this exploration helps you find your spark, even a little one, and make some progress on the things that matter most to you. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.